And I know there's a lot of people who think, well, if the grace of God came to me and I put down all my habits and I put down everything, it was a breeze, it was easy. I'm not buying that. That's their experience. It's not mine. I'm just saying I don't see following Jesus as being easy, because the death of self has to come first. And it's quite possible that there's a great deal of self-righteousness in some of those folks who think it's easy. Because when you say it's easy, what you're also saying, why are you having a hard time? Why is it so hard for you? It was easy for me. So putting yourself on a pedestal, elevating your own walk with God, and comparing yourself to other people who are struggling, the struggle of Christ and the death of the flesh, coming into the way of Christ. Christ didn't have it easy. Christ cried and sweated great drops of blood. And how would it be any easier for us to be born again, and be born again without contractions? To be born again, to be born, brothers and sisters, is a very painful thing. Ask any woman who's given birth. And it's not going to be any easier, in my opinion, to be born new in your spirit than to giving birth with painful contractions like that. And it's being made new, and it hurts. It hurts. And there's a reason why God says, I'm going to wipe away all the tears from their eyes one day. There's a reason why he says there'll be no more sorrow and no more pain. There's a reason, because in this world, and even as we walk with Christ in the likeness of his death, and we suffer along with him, there's tears and there's pain and there's sorrow. And yes, we can be joyful in the Lord in a deeper level of knowing that these afflictions are light compared to the glory of what's coming. We have that. That is a treasured promise that we keep in our hearts. How else could we get through this stuff? It's so hard. How else could we bear to walk with Jesus if, as the scripture says, he kept the joy of knowing? Christ was only able to go through that by understanding the outcome of joy in the end. The scriptures tells us that. So we also have to go the same path of pain, sorrow, and suffering in the understanding of the joyful outcome that will eventually take place. It will eventually turn out okay. And that's part of the believing that we have to hold on to. We have to hold on to that because, I think we forget. I think when it's real hard, we forget that it'll be worth it. I think, all we experience sometimes is, oh, look what I have to give up this pleasure. I have to give up that pleasure. I have to give up that habit. I have to give up those things. And boy, does my flesh like it. And, and I have to give up watching that stuff. I have to give up those things. And then I have to also forgive these people. I have to forgive these people that keep dogging me out. I have to be a doormat for people to wipe their feet on, turn the other cheek, not defend myself, not repay evil for evil, not get anybody back for what they've done to me, just sit there and take it. I have to take it. I have to take it all the time, and it's building up, and there's a lot of just explosion that could happen if we don't. It happens to me, and this is what I'm talking to myself. I'm like, I forget that all of that stuff that I have to go through, when I take one big gulp, I'm like, it's time to follow Jesus. Am I really ready? And I take a big swallow. I go, because I know what it means, what I'm going to have to endure here. I'm visualizing people throwing stones at me and me just keeping my mouth shut. And I visualize people spitting on me and laughing at me. And can I take that? And I can't turn around and say anything to them that's going to defend myself. I just have to bear it.